All right, so let's start this broadcast with some breaking news that has in fact just come in. Not just Iran, but reportedly the entire world is bracing for a potential Israeli blowback against Iran. But now, it's interesting that the American President Joe Biden is stating that he does not believe that Israel will launch the strikes on Iran tonight. The Biden has said that he's discussing possible Israeli strikes on Iranian oil sites in retaliation for Tehran's missile barrage on the state of Israel, in comments that have quickly set up the oil prices spiraling up on Thursday. However, there is uncertainty that still looms large over the region as the world is waiting for Israel's response to Tehran's missile reprisal. Now, the United States recognizes that the state of Israel will retaliate after the attack, but Washington is working to shape that response, cautioning against the targeting of Iran's nuclear facilities. Now, despite offering support for a counterstrike, the United States is wary of a broader conflict and is urging for restraint in choosing targets. Now, Joe Biden, after consulting the G7 leaders following Iran's launch of 200 ballistic missiles, set a clear boundary for the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. The message is clear: retaliate, but avoid an escalation that could spiral out of control. Now, having dealt a significant blow to Hezbollah in Lebanon by killing off its leader last week and weakening Hamas in the Gaza Strip, Netanyahu might see this moment as an opportunity to further undermine the Iranian capabilities. Now, the possibility of striking deep inside Iran, potentially hitting its nuclear sites, is a very real and a very dangerous temptation for the Israeli Prime Minister. And our correspondent Susan Tehrani is, of course, joining us from New York with more information and inputs on this developing story that is now breaking. Susan, good to be speaking with you. This is the latest that has now come up, that the American President Joe Biden has said that he does not believe that Israel will strike at Iran tonight. What more information do we have on this?
Yeah, this was a comment made to reporters. We need more information, but we assume he means because it's Rosh Hashanah and the Jewish people are celebrating, and that's possibly why Israel wouldn't carry out the strike. Of course, he has the best intelligence from the Situation Room as well. So he's talking about particularly on Thursday, which is today here in the United States. But also it's important to note that the president has been very clear that he does not plan on assisting Israel should Israel decide to attack Iran's nuclear facilities. And according to military experts, it's very difficult for Israel to be able to do that and take those measures by itself without the help of the United States. So, whether or not that's still on the table and how far Israel is willing to go to retaliate is still a big question mark. There's also this situation which a lot of officials here were dismayed by President Biden's comments, saying that the retaliation should be proportionate because of the October 7th attack against Israel, because of the killings, the hostages. And, they see the word proportionate as being perhaps more beneficial to the Iranian side than the Jewish side. As you know, Mohammed, tensions are so high, the temperature is so high that any one comment can really have a domino effect, similar to what, for example, President Biden said about talking with Israel about targeting Iran's oil facilities. He made those comments a couple of sentences after that strike by Iran against Israel, and we saw oil prices hike around the world. So, everything that he says and every move that Israel makes is just right now is like a game of chess, basically.
Absolutely. This, of course, is going to be a story that we'll continue tracking. Thank you very much indeed, Susan Tehrani, for joining us and getting us those updates from New York there. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.